Hi everyone, Snipe Trading here. Today is Tuesday, April 27th, and I'll be going over my recap for today. So today was a little bit more challenging day. I think there was a few tickers that I kind of boredom traded and shouldn't be trading those due to kind of high institutional ownership and kind of larger float. But I'll be going over those in a bit. So today I'm down a total of $203 between my two brokers, 290 on my TD Ameritrade and positive 87 on my Trade Zero, which I just mainly traded VXRT on. Okay, so let's get started. So starting from the top here, TIRX. So this was a long trade. I think it had a pretty nice entry here in the morning. So I started off with a flag here, and I was looking for a inner flag to have a better entry point. So here was my inner flag, and I took this trade for that break, and size pretty small there, 200 shares. And then when it was holding this higher low, so I was in my stream, I was annotating that if this held a higher low on the VWAP, I'll look to add for this bigger flag break. So I went ahead and add there, and then sold along those pushes, and sold when it was doing a inverted cup and handle here for the reversal on the 5-minute. And then I think that was that trade for $212. There was another potential flag here, right here, where you could potentially risk pretty tight for this flag break. Right there at 1750s, and that would have been a pretty nice trade. So that's TIRX. Next trade is RIBT. So this was also a quick little scalp trade, also a long trade right here. So this is a 5-minute trend holding lower highs, higher lows, and I brought that break. And because it didn't go too far, I was cautious to sell into this pushes. And then you can see there's a fail flag, which broke the 5-minute trend, retest the area, and went back to the 15-minute 9 EMA. But this was a $75 win on our IPT. Next trade was AMD. So AMD was an after hour trade, as well as I think it was a small win here for this kind of flag break. It didn't really go too far, so I just sold into those pushes for a I think $25 win. And then after hours, I think it had a good earnings, so I went ahead and tried to look for a long on this 1-minute flag, and then I sold onto this pushes. So that was a small little win there as well. And then I took a loss here, trying to get a 1-minute reversal to the 5-minute trend. Or actually, this was a win. I took a short there, cover here, and then took a stop there. So that was actually like $100 win. And then I took another win. This was another win here. I think I actually took a loss here. Yeah. So I was actually building up quite a win here on this after hour trade, and then I give it away on this break here of 88.46 or so. It went back down, and then I end up stopping out right here on this high, and it kind of dipped a little bit lower before squeezing out. So took a loss there, but overall $51 on AMD. Next trade is VRT. So VRT was a early trade, also a short. So this is vertical cup and handle. It was a little bit high institutional, so I had to stop out. You can see it barely broke there, and it just squeezed a little higher there. And that was for a small loss of $20. Next trade was MVIS. I think this was I didn't trade it in the normal hours, but there was a few entries here. There was a nice bear flag for me, went lower, and then I think there was another potential bear flag here, lower highs, and actually reclaim and squeeze higher. I went ahead and tried to look for a kind of long trade here in the after hours, maybe getting a hourly test above. It didn't really go there, had a little wick, so I just took a small loss there with $30 loss. I ended up testing a bit later on the hourly. Next trade was VXRT. So VXRT traded on two accounts here. One was a loss on a short in this early morning. You can see it broke down the inverted cup and handle and reclaimed, so stopped out there. And I think I did it once more. I stopped out and actually retested the 5-minute there. I ended up trading it a bit on this after hour flag. So you can see there's an after hour flag. I went ahead to take this break after hours, and then sold into those pushes. And then I had saw another break here potential, and I took a some profits there, and then I stopped out. And then yeah, so this was a $50 win here, and I took a $80 loss over here. And then I traded a few on my TradeZero account. I think there was a 15-minute reversal that was on right here that I took. So when this lower high would confirm, I went ahead and look a bit short here for the on my TradeZero account for the break of the 15-minute trend. It ended up squeezing people out here, shorts out on the $9 area before it went down crashing. So I was short biased because the hourly was way extended, and then potentially any flag will likely fail, but it didn't go my way at the right time there. So but it was a decent win to start, and got a $87 win total on my TradeZero. Next trade, so my last three trade was kind of where I'll say it's more of a boredom trade, and I shouldn't have taken these trade, but I took it anyways, and I had to pay the price. So the last three trade pretty much cost me almost $500. But you can see this was an early short, didn't really trigger, and then I got stopped out here for $162 loss, sizing a little bit way too much before the trigger there, and that was on MYT. Next trade was RRD. So also another one. I think he had bad earnings after hours, but here I should have waited for another fail flag before going in. But you can see here it broke momentarily there on that 597 break for these lows. Ended up kind of popping up and down before, and then stopping me out before going back down to retest. So it's a little bit scaled up a little bit too much here, and it took a big loss here of $190 on RD. My last trade is MUDS. So this was a kind of early morning trade. Also, it looked pretty nice at this position. It was a bit extended on the 5-minute chart, so I was sizing in here, looking for this break and get maybe a test on 1480s for the 15-minute 90 MA, but it ended up squeezing me out, so I stopped a bit there, went to add, and then finally stopped out here when it met these highs. So it squeezed me out there for a $194 loss. So yeah, so overall down 203. Not too bad considering my conditions, but it is something I need to learn and to avoid, and potentially I need a kind of new scanner that could filter more of these high institutional owned stocks and higher floats, so I should avoid trading them. But all in all, a small loss relative to my wins overall this month, but definitely a slow month to start. And yeah, look forward to my monthly recap end of this week and month. Yeah, so that's all for today. If you enjoy these recaps, be sure to hit the subscribe and like button to support the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.